Hello and welcome to Shouting Over the Static, Extra or News or something. One of them. We need to work on our branding. I'm your surrogate host Dylan, while Mark is away. Wait, that sounds strange. Here's Kyaw
Hello.
and Jack.
Hello, how's it going?
Oh, mate, you didn't do what my parentheses said. Nailed it. I was very rude and wrote Jack probably fumbles over his words and then says hi.
No, goddamn.
But you didn't.
I mean,
so...
we can try it again if you want.
Nah, I think this is probably better. You were the smoothest part of that entire introduction.
Whoa.
Hey, man, you fucked it up, Kyaw.
All I said was hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
So Mark's not here today. I don't know, something. But also neither is any of the game news.
Yeah.
Really, not much has happened.
Yeah, that's not
So, if you're listening to this, you could probably just give up. Because we're going to talk about nonsense for half an hour. Maybe you'll enjoy that. Maybe you won't. We'll see what happens. There's some things to talk about, I guess. Kyaw mentioned Guild Wars 2 because, you know, apparently someone plays that.
There's dozens of them.
Pew! Just fucking nailed it. So yeah, Kyaw, tell us about Guild Wars 2 because I didn't read it. You didn't actually send me anything, so I don't know what you were talking about.
It's juicy, I think. It's a juicy thing. It's not really about the game. It's just about a dev being fired over a Twitter argument.
I've just found the article. It was not a dev, it was a writer. You fucked it up already.
I mean, a writer is part of the dev team. Come on.
Nah.
All right, whatever.
They developed nothing.
They developed the story, mate. That's the big thing.
Yeah, true. They develop our emotions.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah, explain. What happened?
So apparently this was during an AMA. So an AMA, if you don't know, is an Ask Me Anything. And a guy basically was...
That doesn't explain anything. Just saying it's an Ask Me Anything doesn't actually explain what an AMA is.
So it's a thing where you can ask whatever person any question and they will answer you.
Well, yeah. You can ask anything, they won't necessarily answer you.
Yes.
They'll keep it about Rampart.
They'll try to, skirt around the answer. That's what they normally do, right? In AMAs.
My fucking hot throwback just got completely ignored. That was really sad. Oh well. At least nobody else will listen to this to hear my embarrassment.
I just won't upload this thing. I just won't publicize this episode.
Nice. Good plan. Okay.
Anyway,
there was an AMA.
Back to this. Yeah, it's a Twitter AMA because, of course, that's what you do on Twitter. A guy was just commenting on how he wants things to be done in Guild Wars 2, and this lady, who's the developer / writer of Guild Wars 2, she was just defending really, really rudely, I think. This is my take, anyway. She said something like, "Today, in being a female game dev, allow me, a person who does not work with you, explain to you how you do your job." And she just kept going, and she was being rude, and she got fired over that. Just that.
I mean, that doesn't sound that rude. Did she get any ruder?
No, this was the main comment. She said something more, but it's not.
She got fired for complaining about someone complaining at her.
No, the guy wasn't complaining. He was just having a discussion because
and she
AMA.
overreacted a bit.
Yeah, pretty much. She just played the victim card, I think.
Basically, what needs to be done is don't use Twitter.
Yeah.
Because you could get fired from your job, which
Yeah.
sounds shit. Like, that doesn't seem fair. But at the same time, I don't know. This all seems a bit ridiculous. Getting fired for... Everybody has a bit of a tantrum now and again. Just don't do it on Twitter. I think that's one of my favourite things Will Smith has said. It was talking like about Jaden Smith. Just like, when I was his age, I did dumb shit too. But we didn't have Twitter to post it everywhere.
Yeah.
So like nobody knows about it.
Uh-huh.
and it makes a good point. I'll see if I can find the actual quote.
Yeah, I think it's especially like nowadays with like video games becoming more and more of a social thing, and developers looking to their communities to try and get feedback. Especially if someone takes it the wrong way, then it could end really badly, and it seemed to have done with this whole Guild Wars 2 thing.
Yeah. Jack, are you outside?
No.
I can hear so many seagulls.
Mate, seagulls are invading.
Seagulls? That's not.
Time.
There's no seagulls.
I could hear it too.
Maybe it was me. I can't hear seagulls anymore.
They'll return.
Sorry. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like there seems to be this whole other aspect of these sort of big in the public jobs now, isn't there? Just before, you could, even if you were making something that was for the public, you just had to avoid them at all other moments.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, Daniel Day-Lewis. He really keeps out of the public eye.
Yeah.
And you only really ever hear about him when he makes a really good movie. Or like is in a really good movie. And I think that's probably sensible.
Yeah, it's...
Because there's always someone to disagree with you, or there's always the opportunity to say something stupid. So, I mean, we really can't say anything. We make podcasts. Our life is saying stupid stuff and putting it on the internet.
all the time.
But
She didn't have to. She didn't have to reply to this comment, but she did.
No.
In this way, especially, which makes it worse. But I don't feel like this is something she should get fired over. She already
No,
apologized
it
like
seems
twice.
a bit excessive. Yeah, it seems a bit excessive to get fired over it. Maybe they wanted to fire her anyway, and this was just a good opportunity. Why did they fire two people, though? They said they fired
there was
the lady
somebody
and then-
else involved, but I couldn't read anything in time, so... So
Good job.
find
I'm
out
gonna
yourself. Go to the internet.
I'm control effing his name. The mob also went after Peter Fries, a writer who stuck up for Price in a couple of now deleted tweets. Here's a bit of insight that I legitimately hope he reflects on. She never asked for his feedback, Fries wrote. Yeah. Okay. That also seems unfair to be fired for.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a whole thread. These are our private social media accounts. Imagine you're an astronomer and you start sharing some things you've learned in the last few months since you began a research project observing Saturn, only to have observation techniques explained to you by a layman.
Yeah, so just don't reply to it. Just tell her, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
but also, I feel like someone commenting on something they don't like about a story is completely different to someone commenting on your observation techniques for observing Saturn. Like, those are... Obviously, writing is a very complicated thing, but experiencing the writing isn't a complicated thing. The writing is designed for everyone to experience it, whereas observing Saturn is designed for science. You're doing research with it. It's not meant to be appeasing the public, whereas your writing is literally specifically designed for the public.
Yeah.
So you should get feedback on it. It seems absurd to not expect feedback for your stories.
And then complaining about said feedback publicly.
Yeah. This is literally just criticism. These people have got upset that they've received criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, you know, there are two different ways that you can take criticism. You can receive it really well, and then you can handle it in a good way, and then there are people who perhaps don't respond as well to criticism as others, and clearly that's exactly what's happened here.
Yeah, I feel like there must be something else going on that we've not entirely seen, because I don't know, I just can't. I can't see how it how it got to this point. Because their reactions weren't even that bad. Like, yeah, maybe you overreacted to being criticized a bit too much, but whatever, that's fine. And then they got fired for it. I'm really confused. This story is absurd. I don't know what's happening.
Maybe you're right. They've been wanting to fire them for a while, and this is the perfect reason.
I feel like that must be the only explanation, right? Imagine getting fired for like a sentence where you were annoyed at someone.
Yeah.
That's absurd. This is outrageous. I'm so confused. Okay, that was news. Let's move away from this because I don't know where else we can go with that. Shit, man. I hope we don't get fired. I don't know what I've said.
Wait,
I've probably said something.
Well, let's be mean about Mark and see if he fires.
Oh, what?
He can't fire
He can't
us.
fire
He
us.
hasn't got that power. But yeah, okay. Mark, I don't appreciate your criticism. Stop telling me how to do my job. Okay, there you go. Let's see what he does. If he ever listens to this. Nice.
He won't. But
Now
somebody
he's
has
only
to
going
edit
to
it.
fire me. Sure, you have to defend me. And then he'll fire you
Well, Dylan, I agree with you. And I fully
Yeah.
support your statement. Shit.
too. Sick. Okay, cool. Let's see if we get fired. I'm really confused. I don't know what's going on. Have you guys seen the Amblin Productions, the Steven Spielberg company, has re-announced the Halo TV show?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. I have seen that. Tell us more about it.
Which, I mean, that's basically all that happened.
Okay.
I read the Halo Waypoint thing. They said that they were doing that again.
What is the Halo Waypoint thing?
So Halo Waypoint is just their sort of blog, and they do a news post like every month or something. And so what they've said is the most obvious big news to drop over the past week or so is that Showtime and Amblin Entertainment have announced a brand new television series based on the Halo universe, directed by Rupert Wyatt, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is pretty cool, and written by Carl Killen, Mind Games and Awake. I don't know either of those.
Okay.
The Halo television series will open with a 10-episode season that will showcase our favourite science fiction franchise in new and exciting ways. The TV show is scheduled to enter production next year, and our teams are collaborating and engaging daily to build a show worthy of your attention and devotion. So, I mean, I guess now we know that they're entering production next year, but I'm fairly certain they said that the first time they announced it. So, this seems, I don't know, almost like an empty gesture, because, I mean, they've announced the Halo TV show before.
Yeah. But we have... Well, actually, this is not concrete news that is going into production, because they've said that before as well, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure if they've ever specifically said like it's going to enter production next year. So it might be a bit more, but it's still just like there are still plenty of ways that could go wrong, you know.
Yeah, it's a bit hand.
But I mean, at least I think the main thing is though there is an official post saying it's happening now because over the past few years everybody's been like, where's this TV show?
Right. Yeah.
You announced it at E3 as like a big thing 3 years ago now, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And since then, there's only been like the occasional tweet, like, "Yeah, it's happening." But I guess this is now an official announcement, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
But other than that, there's really not much news, is there? There's loads of Fortnite stuff. If you guys want to talk about a game we never play,
Goddamn Fortnite.
What's going on? There's rifts opening up, right?
Yeah.
So they had this big. It's actually really interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've looked at it. Do you know what's happened? Can you explain it, Chur? Or
No,
shall
I am not up to date. I've only heard like something cool. But
okay, so basically this. I don't know the entire backstory because it seems that a shit ton of stuff has been going on, but Epic have been doing these sort of live events in game. So they had a meteor a while ago, and that resulted in a countdown in game that people didn't really know what was going on. And this countdown ended up resulting in a rocket launch.
Yeah.
So people all went in game to watch this rocket launch, and it sort of went all over the map through portals and whatever, and then exploded in the sky and created this giant rift, almost like in that sort of Futurama feature thing. Do you know the one I mean? The beast with the billion backs or whatever they called it.
I've no idea. I've never seen it.
Okay. Anyway, so there's this rift in the sky.
Yeah.
and it's been slowly growing over time. But also, there's other rifts around the map that have been growing and like eating objects in the map.
Oh, right.
So there's been loads of crazy theories about what it's going to be. Like, they're going to change the map. There was already rumors that the next season was going to be all about history. So some people think this rift's going to take people back in time.
Oh, wow.
But I was reading all this stuff, and just like, Fortnite has so much more to it than I thought. I thought it was just, you run around and shoot each other, which is whatever, cool. But they've like, I don't know, they put thought into it. There's some kind of weird story going on.
I mean, they're certainly like riding the wave of its success at the moment.
It seems like this was always kind of planned, right? Because I guess it couldn't have always been planned because they just threw this together. But they've really steered into it. Yeah, I think you're right, Jack. They're really riding the wave of it.
I think as well, I'm assuming that you guys saw that one guy who took advantage of the whole public event thing. So essentially, there was like, I don't know, I guess it was like a mutual agreement between players in a game, and they were like, you know what, we're going to sit down at this time and just like build up the highest platform that we can, and just everyone will put down their guns and stop shooting at each other, and we'll just watch it. And there was about 45 or something people were all gathered
48.
on 48. They were all gathered on top of the on top of a platform, and then this one dude who like was just not on the platform just decided to completely destroy the platform they were on, and they all fell to their death, and he got he got the world record for the most kills in a solo mode of Fortnite.
He got the highest solo kill record. Yeah.
I mean, it was quite funny. I know a lot of people on Twitter and a lot of the gaming community really hated it, but I find it was part of the game.
I mean,
I
it's
guess.
funny, but it is kind of shitty, right? Because these people were all there's a lot. The Fortnite thing has become ridiculously big now. I mean, you see posts in sort of like Daily Mail and The Express talking about where to find the latest challenges. And like when Fortnite first started, you'd occasionally see those posts on come up on Reddit, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense. I understand why that's here. But the fact that the fucking Daily Mail is doing articles every week with challenge maps for Fortnite is ridiculous.
Yeah.
How many fucking people are playing Fortnite?
It seems to have spread almost everywhere. So I guess still on the topic of video games, but taking a bit of a segue. But Harry Kane, the England footballer, in an interview the other day said, "Oh yeah, so what do you He got asked a question, "What do you do to relax in your free time?" And he just sat there saying, "Yeah, I'd sit down and play some Fortnite." Everyone seems to be playing it.
Yeah, it's super accessible, and there's
insane.
A huge community, isn't it? And you can play with everyone across all the platforms, except
other than Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a post the other day of this guy playing with his nephews and nieces, and so he was on his PC, one nephew was on the Xbox, one was on the Switch, and his niece was on her phone or something, and they were all playing Fortnite together, and that's really cool. But that kid on the phone is going to do really shit.
Yeah, definitely.
There is no way that kid on the phone is going to do is going to be able to compete at all with someone on a PC.
Mm-hmm. I
mean, even the people on the console are going to struggle.
Yeah, I don't think there is any balancing either, right? It's free for all. Just go nuts. What I've seen is the balancing is you can go into not cross-play servers. You can just play just phones. Okay. So it's up to you to struggle. Yeah, that's fair. We should play Fortnite. We should get involved in the biggest gaming thing that's happened in a while.
Yeah.
Or maybe we should make that our game next month. It is free.
Yeah, I might just go download it now. Right now.
Yeah. Oh god. I think I've got it on my Xbox. Oh mate, then we can fucking play together.
Shit. First ever crossover episode.
It's gonna be so good. Although I'm fucking well into our game for August. Yeah, it's our August game. I'm well into our August game at the moment. Hyperlight Drifter is fucking hot shit. I won't talk any more about it because good. And by hot shit, I mean good hot shit, not bad hot shit.
Yep, 100%.
You get that. You understand.
We know. What else? So I've got a little bit more. Nothing huge. Apparently EA is making an open world Star Wars.
Open world.
Really?
Yeah, with Amy Hennig, who was the head of Uncharted before.
Oh,
the news.
really?
No.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad, though, isn't it?
It's gonna be all story, no mechanics, just the way you hate it.
Oh God. I do hate story. Yeah, as long as it's got good mechanics, the story's fine. I'm not a huge fan of just stories.
It's an open world game, so there must be lots of mechanics, interesting gameplay. I imagine.
That's not necessarily true.
Nah, it's not, is it?
Grand Theft Auto's got pretty simple mechanics, but it is fun.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, the dev team is gonna include people who made Sleeping Dogs and Prototype. I don't know if you've heard of those games. You've heard of Sleeping Dogs for sure.
Yeah, Sleeping Dogs is a good game.
I've played Sleeping Dogs. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, there's some news, but none of it seems particularly... Far Cry 5 got a photo mode. Someone made Mario Kart in Fortnite with that new playground mode. Oh, the playground mode is going to be permanent again, apparently.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know what... It's basically Forge, but in Fortnite. So people have been making some crazy stuff with it.
Yeah, okay. Like a map creator type thing, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can... You can't create a map, but you can just build whatever you want in the existing map.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can sort of... Because you can just build a map inside that map. It's kind of a map creator. Just a very closed-ended one. Like, you can't really do... You can only use the material that's in the game. I think you can just use like the wooden panels and the traps and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, still pretty cool.
Yeah.
People are doing cool stuff with it. Like immediately, there was really cool things happening. So, I mean, you can see that from Halo's Forge, right? People love to make shit.
Yeah, and it's great because there's lots of people, a small potential in this game, I guess.
God, there's so many people playing Fortnite.
Yeah, man. Like, it's stupid. I mean, there's a bit of other news. So I think it was yesterday or a couple of days ago, Xbox rolled out a new update which introduces their. I guess it's not like the. I don't think it's the full sort of package because so at E3 this year they announced that fast start thing.
Oh yeah, that's sort of started now, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've rolled out an update, and it basically, I think what it is at the moment is when you're installing a new game, there you can basically play it. I imagine quicker, so you don't have to wait as long. You know, on some of the games that you download, you have that it's ready to play now bar. I guess that they're just
so what it does
down.
is it loads in the bits that you can actually.
Yeah.
So it loads in the beginning of the game, and the stuff you need to play the first few levels. And their whole spiel for selling it was that they've got this new fancy AI thing that makes it faster and faster, so it knows exactly what needs to be loaded and what you want, so you can keep playing.
Yeah.
But they claimed this when it first came out, like you say, Jack. It has that whole thing of your game is now ready to play, and you can go in and you can usually do like the menu.
Yeah.
Or maybe the tutorial. I think Titanfall 2, you can play the tutorial.
Yeah, like I did.
And it's the same on PC, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing
So
special.
I don't know how good it's actually going to be.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it either.
But it's exciting that it's happening, isn't it? So we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, more games faster is always a good thing.
Yeah, games only take a few hours to download now anyway. I guess it's more for people... Americans seem to have really shit internet, so...
Yeah, and Australians.
And Australians,
and
yeah.
apparently Jack.
Yep. Yep, I have really bad internet. What else? What else is there to talk about?
Did, since last week was... Or whatever, I don't... Well, anyway. Have we spoken about that new Overwatch hero?
I don't think we have.
No, tell us.
So this was announced like a week or two ago now?
Yeah.
And it's a hamster in a mech. Is this new hero called
What is it
Hammond,
called?
which is brilliant. Hammond.
Hammond.
It's pretty cute.
Hammond the hamster. It's great. But as crazy as that is, and like as ridiculous as this is, so I think the whole point is that he's from the same sort of program as Winston. So he was on the moon base and he's a super smart animal. But the weirdest part of this for me is that a year ago, someone posted on Reddit that they think the next hero is going to be a hamster in a mech.
They
like,
guessed it.
How the fuck did they guess that? Because some people figured it out from the latest map. Like, because Overwatch always put things in the map to sort of hint towards what was happening. And so some people figured it out because of a bunch of like the things that people say and like the logs you can find in the maps that say like, oh, they're not afraid of him, so it must be something like not overly dangerous, like a gorilla. It's not a gorilla. And something about him being in the vent, so it must be small. There's some chewed blocks in the room where this hero was meant to be. So people figured out that it was going to be a hamster, and I think maybe they figured out a mech. But that guy a year ago, before all these maps changes were made, just said, "I think it's going to be a hamster in a mech."
I'm reading an IGN article at the moment, and apparently on one of the on the Li Jiang Tower map, there was a poster, a billboard, and at the top of the billboard, there's quite clearly a line drawing of like the outline of what looks to be a hamster with a ball underneath it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, perhaps maybe it was just there and people just had to look for it, I guess. I don't know.
But they update these maps a lot, so it wasn't necessarily there the entire time.
Yeah, possibly.
So I think they do that. They've definitely changed things and put things in to hint at the next the next hero a lot. Because they did that with like Sombra and stuff. They had a semi ARG.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, there is no way from that image on that thing you'd guess that the next hero is a hamster on a ball. It's definitely related, but you'd never make that link until they told you after, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I was just in shock, and I think the guy was just guessing. He the way he worded the post, I can't remember specifically what it was, but it was basically just like, I'm just going to throw it out there and say I reckon it's going to be a hamster in a mech. I can't believe it. It's such a ridiculous hero to even be putting into Overwatch in the first place. The fact that someone could guess it is even more... I love it. I think it's brilliant.
It's great.
I really want to play Overwatch. I should probably buy it.
Yeah, me too. It's got really interesting backstory stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, like really cool. All the videos that come out. I played the free weekend and it was brilliant. I thought it was great. The only reason I didn't get it was because it was like, it never came down from 40 quid.
Mate, it's never going to come down from full price. It's a Blizzard game.
Annoyingly, it was on offer for like 16 quid a few weeks ago. I don't know why I didn't buy it.
Damn, okay.
But it means that they're willing to do sales now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because they did not get involved in sales at all before. So, I don't know. It's a cool game. They're doing cool shit, and they're still going. How long ago did Overwatch come out now? 2 years ago, maybe? Yeah, right? And they're still putting out... it still seems relevant. Fortnite may be taking over a tiny bit, but Overwatch,
tiny bit.
Overwatch was that game for a while, right? That was sort of the gaming zeitgeist thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that I'm actually like really happy about is Overwatch are just sticking with their thing and not getting involved with the whole battle royale aspect of it.
They're probably working on it.
I mean, I imagine that there's been talks about it, but like I'm actually glad at the moment that they're just letting it. Like they know that Overwatch has got still such a strong player base that they don't really have to bother about it at the moment.
Yeah. Overwatch is definitely not balanced for battle royale, though, right?
No way they can make it work with like the selection of heroes, right?
Yeah, I don't think you could, because I mean, like, sort of at some point it sort of depends on you dying. So to make it, and like the maps are obviously not designed for battle royale, so maybe they are thinking about it, but they'd have to be doing a proper big rehaul, and I don't think they would bother.
I mean, because what is it? Paladins did their Realm Royale thing.
Yeah.
And I mean,
The
I've
first
seen some
hero-based battle royale. Yeah,
I've seen some good. I've seen like some mixed opinions about it. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly something that Overwatch could do. And I mean, like I say, they are probably talking about it. Whether it's something that they have to do is another thing, because I don't think they have to go into that market at all. But yeah, I agree with you. They definitely have to do like a major overhaul to their game if they wanted to introduce it.
Yeah, I don't think they will do it because at the end of the day, they could always just make their own battle royale, right? It's Blizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And it would probably be easier to just make a new one rather than. Oh, I mean, we've spoken about this on the show before. Sometimes we seem to trivialize that making games, but I think risking ruining your game by sort of switching everything up and turning it into a battle royale is a bit, risky. Whereas with Blizzard's resources, they can probably make a battle royale that's
risk, for sure.
half decent. So I don't know. I don't think they would. I don't think they'd put it in Overwatch, but we never know. COD did it.
Not yet, right? We haven't seen it.
No, but they've announced it, haven't they?
Yeah. But do we know any more about the map and how that's gonna be?
I don't think so.
Just that it's gonna include some bits of all of the best maps in Treyarch's history, basically.
Yeah, it's just that one video that's come out before E3.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really sure what to make of it yet. I imagine like a lot of people will still play it. The thing that I don't know if they'll, because obviously Call of Duty has such a strong foothold in terms of esports. I don't know if they'll be able to make competitive battle royale, like turn it into like an esports sort of thing. But
you could make battle royale competitive really easily, right?
Yeah,
Have people play battle royale.
But I mean, for me, someone who like occasionally watches the World Championships, I don't know, it'd be a bit weird. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
But they'd make it a separate thing, right?
Yeah.
Will it be cross-platform?
I don't know. Again, unanswered questions.
I don't think they can compete with Fortnite if it's not.
I don't think it will be because they've got a deal with PS4, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do they?
COD are like PS4 announced it, don't they? Because it used to be Xbox and then they switched over. So I doubt they'd come out making PS4 look shit again.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. PS4 makes PS4
anyway.
look shit.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't really have. There's like little bits of bobs of news, but there's not. I don't think there's really anything more interesting to talk about.
From me.
We said we'd keep this a short episode, so I mean, we've done 35 minutes. We've managed more than I thought we would.
Yeah. I think we're all still sort of suffering from the E3 hangover a bit. I mean, I know it's like a couple of like a month or so on now, but I still think it's still there where everyone's just had a massive game dump and people don't really want to talk about any of the future stuff that they haven't announced yet because.
Yeah, exactly. It always happens after E3, doesn't it? Because everybody's put all their news at once.
Yeah. It'll pick up at like September time, post summer. It'll pick up because then you have
this hangover is gonna last until August for Gamescom, and then we're gonna get some more juicy stuff. I imagine.
Yeah.
Then we'll get another hangover.
Yeah, until December when the video
stuff
games
comes out in like
happen.
October and November. I think COD comes out in October, doesn't it? 12th, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there'll be a
But
bit of that.
we'll get a bunch of stuff at Gamescom, I imagine, and then what you've got QuakeCon happening at some point.
Oh yeah. We'll see Rage 2 properly.
We'll see Doom.
Oh yeah, that too.
We've seen Rage 2.
Sorry, yeah,
Fuck
I meant
that.
Doom.
We've seen Rage 2 now. Yeah. Well, I mean, unless you guys have got anything more to say, we should. I know you've got somewhere to be, Kyaw, so something to do rather. So should we call it quits?
Yeah.
Quits.
Awesome. It was. Is that you saying bye?
No. Okay, I'm sorry.
It has been lovely chatting briefly about not much. Hopefully there'll be something to talk about next week. Maybe in the meantime we'll discuss something to talk about to make up for this lack of content. We'll just do an hour of me playing Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy and shouting. We won't upload the video, just the audio. Right. We will, well, I'll speak to you guys next week, and you guys will hear from us next week, I guess.
Yep.
See you guys.
Bye.